Hello friends! We are here for another tarot forecast, this time for the full moon occurring on November 5th at around 7:20 p.m. Central Standard Time. This full moon will be in Taurus, and if you see here, I have a card already pulled. So earlier, while I was on the phone with one of my friends, we were talking about the energies and the forecasts and the themes. And so I pulled out this little deck, the Orphans Divine the Future. My sister gave me this deck, and it is just the major arcana cards. So while we were talking, I wanted to get a major theme for the month ahead, for the full moon, and coincidentally, the Hanged Man flew right out of the deck while I was shuffling. This was pretty funny to us because for my friend, the Hanged Man is always present. It is a theme she works with, she paints, she writes all about it, and so we talked about it. And we talked about what anchoring into the Hanged Man for this full moon will look like. And that part of what that looks like is not betraying ourselves, not leaving ourselves to die, right? It's not letting ourselves just wash away and suffer. We are holding on to parts of ourselves. And this Hanged Man, he's like a little bat boy, so it's really cute. I wanted to use it for the Halloween vibes. I was going to use my Halloween deck, but since the full moon isn't until November 5th, we've kind of moved past that, and I'm just going to use the tarot deck that I have here. When I did my tarot readings at a market the other day, everybody really liked this deck, so we're going to get into it. The Empress and King of Cups. So this is really fun because I was going to pull the cards pre to doing the reading, and King of Cups was the first card that came up, but I wanted to do the reading live for you, so I put it back, and obviously saw me shuffle it a bunch of times and still popped up. So we have the Empress and the King of Cups. These are both energies that have a large grasp around their emotional well-being, and part of that is being able to receive and accept gifts. That's what the Empress to me represents. And in some of the things I've been reading, a lot of talk about this idea of the give and take, the divine feminine taking or accepting or receiving, and divine masculine giving, and what that looks like in a fair way. So we have these cards both present, and the King of Cups, there's water present in both of these things, right? We're talking about emotions. The King of Cups, he's got this big old cup in his hand. He's got this dolphin. He has, he has this control, this ability to reserve these stronger pulls of emotions. The waters are calm. In this one, the waters are flowing. And the Empress, of course, has connotations with birth, or how we can say creation. And so the creation that the Empress puts out into the world is what I'm seeing a byproduct of those emotions, and being able to birth into something new rather than destruction because of strong emotions. So what does that look like? How can we anchor into the Hanged Man during this emotional time, during this Taurus full moon, that can feel like if we are not paying attention, it can feel really like the instability is really there, our insecurity. And so that is not what we want to feel during this Taurus full moon. So what can we do or notice and accept an invitation into in order to be into our King of Cups and Empress energy, because those are really beautiful cards. The Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Wands is keying us into this idea that we are taking action. We are making progress by moving and deciding where to point our arrows. So if we are feeling aimless, if we are feeling like we are not ready to take a step forward, to make a move, try taking one step. Try taking the first step. These are big cards. Energetically, we're talking about our inner world and how we can create from our inner world to our outer world. And the Eight of Wands is a fiery card. We've got a lot of emotions, but the Eight of Wands is asking us to be actionable and to look around and really truly ask ourselves, what can we do? What does it look like when we take care of ourselves? Taking the steps to do that. That's a tough one. That can really feel like, if we're especially getting into seasonal depression, that can really feel like a big ask. And honestly, it is. So, being honest with ourselves, acknowledging that, and still doing ourselves the favor, doing one small thing, one small step, will make a huge ripple effect. And what that can look like, or what that can remind us of, is that we are making progress. The work that I do with children, it's learning, and it is intensive learning. And what we always say is progress is progress. Any little bit of progress. We are not falling behind. In this full moon, if we have these doubts that we are not doing enough, this reading is here to erase that story that you're telling yourself and get you into the mindset of the King of Cups. Okay, this card fell out. The Eight of Pentacles. Haven't we seen that card before? We have the Eight of Pentacles. We are toiling away at our work. So if we have to be studying, if we're back in school, if we have a new hobby, if we have a anything extracurricular that we have to practice daily, again, an idea here is that 15 minutes of practice can make all of the difference, can make an intentional choice to put your phone down and just say a mantra or stretch your back, lift your head, any little bit, take a walk, any bit of movement. This emotional control that we can have in these times of hanging around and waiting around can look like regulating our nervous system. Regulate your nervous system. I talked about it in the previous email, so we are digging into that and thinking about what that looks like. I mean, you can't ignore the eights here. 2 8s. I'm just like, it's infinite, right? It is ever present. It is ever ongoing. And every little movement that we make ripples into the universe and lets the universe know we are alive. Everything we are is love. Everything that we learn and intake that we create is love. Okay, I'm going to give us one more. Let's see. With the Hangman here, anchoring into surrendering into the present moment. I am here. It is suggesting that you're in a space to consider all of your options. Let go of thinking that you can control the outcome, that you can control how things are going to get done. Change your perspective. Turn it around. See things from a different angle. Look at what other people might be suggesting. Interpret symbols in your world in ways that can lead to new discoveries. Okay, so, you know, meditation and again, sacrificing time to do other things that might be calling to us, even if it feels purposeless. Like, why do I all of a sudden want to start writing and, or, you know, like all these things like that you are called to do, like dive into that. Okay, 8 of Wands. Okay, I'm shuffling the cards. I keep wanting to pull cards out. There's a lot of messages coming through, but I want the message here that is going to be for the highest and best of our collective that I've created here. And we've got 2 cards. We've got the 2 of Swords and the Knight of Swords. Okay, so what is keeping us from this movement and this work? What's stopping us? Overthinking and indecision, but we have the motivation. We have the Knight of Wands, that we have some momentum here. I'm like moving the cards really fast, get that breeze flowing, but we are at night before we go to bed, and daylight savings time is occurring the Sunday before this full moon, so very soon. It hangs heavy. It keeps us up, and we feel like we are holding a heavy cross to bear. We feel like that decision fatigue has really gotten into our, gotten the best of us. It feels like we don't know what to do. But with the Knight of Swords, the movement is possible. The movement is possible. So, anchoring into the Hanged Man, into the surrender, into the giving yourself grace, and allowing your intuition to help you move past that and make a decision. It doesn't matter what you choose. It matters that you make a choice and that you make a move. It matters that you accept and let go and allow yourself to see things from a place you may not have been willing to before. This moon is transformational. This time period, this astrological landscape that we're experiencing with Neptune being in retrograde in the sign of Pisces for the very last time that it'll be in Pisces for our lifetime, moving into Aquarius, this larger planet that controls our the more esoteric inner world, subconscious Neptune, our dreams, our wildest visions. It is retrograde right now. And so we are being allowed the space to completely transform our lives if we take action to do that. And so it's feeling like we're hanging around. It's that retrograde energy of like, it's feeling a little stagnant, but that work that we're doing on a subconscious level will make all the difference as Neptune moves into Aquarius next year. It'll be retrograde until about December, mid-December, early December. And then it'll stick around in Pisces for a little bit longer before it moves into Aquarius. But these next couple of weeks are really vital for us to make what we want a reality. So let's pull one more card from here for final outcome. Well, it is the moon, right? It is this full moon forecast for us. And then the devil. Okay. So then we know that this final outcome will change us, and it will really transform our earthly personhood, right? The devil to me right now is representing everything that we do and don't want to become, all the things that in this material world we are connected to and we represent. It is showing that we are coming and birthing into this world a different version of ourselves that we may have been ashamed of before, and which is why it feels hard to choose that. But if we're anchoring into the hangman like we should be, we are able to see that those things that we were ashamed of before, in the light of the full moon, aren't that scary, aren't that bad, aren't what we thought they were. The inner world is rebirthing into our outer world, and that will look like something new. I can't even explain what it'll look like because it does not exist yet. That is how much how big our transformation will be. So move swiftly, move with purpose, make movements, and you will see that transformation for that next full moon. By the next full moon, you'll start to see, you will feel on a cellular level different. That's how big this transformation is going to be. So I appreciate you sticking with me for this one. I did take a little bit longer on this reading. I've got a little bit more of a different setup here. So I also appreciate you being patient with me on my progress as I read for the collective on YouTube and whatnot and share it with you all. I hope that this resonated in some way. Again, I appreciate everybody who has taken the time to join this community, to follow me, to support me. Please share this with others. This can resonate with other people who you might think need to hear these messages. Like and subscribe, and again, it means the literal world to me that you are along this journey with me, because I could not do it without you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Much love to everybody. Happy full moon, and best of luck.